What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. I'm your host, Lawson Turner, and in last video we went over the Knicks beating the dog piss out of the Indiana Pacers. Now we're going to transition into Denver just 3 games ago. 0-2 down, 3 games later, 3-2 up. Nikola Jokic got his MVP award in pregame. That wasn't shown on TV, but he followed it up with this masterclass of a game. 40 points, 7 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, a block, and the key thing, 0 turnovers. 0. I thought this was it was his best performance of the postseason, and we haven't seen anyone put up numbers like this in a long time. The only other player in playoff history to put up these types of numbers was Chris Paul back in 2018. He was efficient, 15 for 24, and was destroying, the defensive player of the year. Not only the defensive player of the year, the 4-time defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert, en route to his 40 points. Now, talk about Jokic's cast. Aaron Gordon was outstanding, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 of 14 from the floor. He was the X factor of their, in my opinion, he's been the X factor of their 3 wins other than Jokic stepping up and showing out. Jamal Murray, okay game, 16 points, 4 assists, 7 of 14 from the floor. That's 50%, looking nice. Michael Porter Jr. kind of fell off a cliff. Well, didn't fall off a cliff literally, but essentially his play has fallen down the drain over the past 2 games. I thought last night he was just awful. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 for 10 from the floor. At least through the Lakers series, he had been outstanding, and I knew this series was going to be tough, and I didn't think he could replicate what he did against the Lakers, but I don't expect him to go 2 for 10 in Game 6. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP, he played outstanding. I thought it was his best game of the postseason thus far. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 of 8 from the floor, including 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. And I thought every time the Timberwolves were going on a little baby run, to maybe they can cut it to single digits, maybe they can take the lead, KCP would just hit a timely corner 3, and it's like, okay, well, the pendulum of power swings back in the Nuggets' favor. Now, speaking of the Timberwolves, let's dive into their 3 stars. Before I do, they're missing Mike Conley, and for everything that Mike Conley is not, they missed what he was: the floor general, the tone setter, the woo-saw voice in the locker room and in the starting lineup. He was just he was they inhale all the good shit, exhale all the bad shit. Like, he was that tone, that calm voice that, you know what, he's the veteran of this young team. That's what he is. Anthony Edwards played very subpar, maybe his worst game of the postseason thus far. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, which is good rebounds and assist wise, but he was very inefficient. 5 of 15, 1 for 8 from 3, and he said in the post game that all he can do is laugh of what Jokic was doing, because there was essentially nothing they could do to slow him down. Karl-Anthony Towns, I thought he played a outstanding game, but for Minnesota to force a Game 7, they're going to need more. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 10 of 19 from the floor, and I thought played well. Now, he did go down a couple times in this game with injuries, looked like lower body, looked like hand, but I think that he can bounce back and have a better performance in Game 6. Rudy Gobert, you were the defensive player of the year. You had played okay, good against Jokic, making it tough, but last night there was nothing you could do. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter, oh, it'd be great if Minnesota had the defensive player of the year to slow Jokic down. Well, Jokic does this to everybody. Rudy Gobert, other people thought, Wemby could have won the award. Jokic does it to Wemby. Anthony Davis had considerations, did it to AD in the regular season and the postseason. So I'm putting the bulk of the load on Ant, because he's we do this for the superstars. You get the lion's share of the credit, you get the lion's share of the blame. And I think between Ant not being at, I think Ant's going to come out with a vengeance in Game 6. It's going to be outstanding. Denver went on 3 runs in the second half that I thought really took the game over. They went 11-2 from the 9:47 mark to the 7:16 mark. Now over that 2.5 minute stretch, getting outscored by 9, it's like in a game that Minnesota, once again, grand scheme of things, just like the Pacers last game, they don't have to have it due to Game 6 going home in their building. But it's a tone set. It's a tone setter and a momentum swing. And momentum is real, and Denver has all of it in their favor. Then just 13 seconds after that run ends, they start another one from the 7:03 mark to the 4:08 mark in the third quarter. Denver goes on a 12-4 run, and that was essentially all she wrote. Now they did go on an 8-0 run from the 9:31 mark to the 7:12 mark on the fourth quarter, but the game was essentially already decided. Now let's look at some other stats that I thought were key. Points in the paint. Denver dominated 62 to 48. Now, granted, it's only 14, but if you watch the game, it was so impactful in the times that Jokic would just. It's that meme where you could play good defense on Jokic for 23.9 seconds, and he'll just chuck it up, and it goes in. And sometimes it's just your night. Denver won the turnover battle, the points off those turnovers. They won the field goal percentage battle, the 3-point line battle. They even won the bench battle by 1, in which I thought Denver's bench could be a hindrance as to why they couldn't go back to back. But Jokic, being the MVP, showed up and showed out in a game that was very, very important. It was the first game this whole series that the home team has won, and Minnesota will look to be the second team to do that in Game 6. I cannot wait for that game. It's going to be electric. Minnesota should be rocking, and it's do or die, and we love it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Check us out on Twitter at the Cover2Pod26. Link is also in the description to make it a little bit easier. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below. Does Minnesota force Game 7? Well, for the Cover2 Podcast, I'm Lawson Turner, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.